time of year in the South? Perfect. Fall football weather. And we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Another run with Sanders. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
A first down and then some. Give them 29 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 4th and 7 as that would officially a loss of 1.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. They're the best in the league. They come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. David Njoku, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not a lot of daylight. inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. To throw is Wilson. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd and 1. And this is caught. Touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 35 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point safely through, and it's now 14-0.
The score, Eagles 14, Falcons 0.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Wilson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them. They've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
With the score, Eagles 14, Falcons nothing.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0.
Eagles 21, Falcons nothing.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my... the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
Another run here with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
2nd and 11. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Eagles. David Njoku with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Room to run at the 50. 30. 10. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Falcons.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they're broken.
They're broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Eagles.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
Well, he fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe you're like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it, and you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone, and that's exactly why he did.
And he returns this to the 22. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39. A gain there of 21 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait.
Touchdown, Falcons! Great effort there. 39 yards. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Now, this has been a one-sided first half to this point, no doubt, but at least signs of life here. They're on the board.
Yeah, and I think if they went to the halftime down big with 0 points on the board, it'd be a struggle to see them come out in the second half and play well. So very important, vital here. And if they make a huge comeback, we'll look back at this moment and point to the start of it.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. Pollard to return from the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Eagles.
I can't help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this.
Falcons 14.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 34. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Dafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. There's Wilson to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack finally a first step in the right direction for a stop.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 119 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll go again with Sanders. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And his kick is right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So we are at halftime here on Halloween as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1.
The Falcons take over first down 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
And that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he got the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 139 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A give running left is Sanders. And space tough to come by there as he'll give maybe a yard to the 37.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And some room to maneuver. There he goes, left side. The 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
52. Falcons 21.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful. I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Throwing on 2nd down, Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A.J. Brown, 41 yards. And the Falcons are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go along there, I'll hit you, and it worked really well for them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Tony Pollard. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Eagles. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's going.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Falcons 28.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And able to return this one all the way out to the other side of the field across the 50.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Throwing is Wilson. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
They go play action now. Wilson. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. 2nd and 10 now. Wilson. Complete, finding Nefl. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. Ready? And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is down to 24. Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. And no shot at another touchdown here as he'll take a knee and bring this one out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. Gets around him. And some room to work. Boy, 248 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense. What we saw there, that's what we know that he can do. He can break tackles and turn them into big runs, and that's what he did.
And what is the buzz phrase nowadays in football for a guy like that? Contact balance. The ability to go through trash, come out the other side, avoid and run through contact, and keep your balance.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Back to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Sanders. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Andre Cisco there on the stop. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now a carry for Sanders. That he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. From the 31, Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7. Play action. It's Wilson. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Odafe Owe able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Wilson's throw into the hands of Pitts here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. It's complete to Brown, right side. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. And now here's a carry heading left. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Stonewalled on 2nd down. Now let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now down to 20. So will no doubt be a miracle comeback from here. But let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's Sanders, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on all those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Eagles, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they drop just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.